Welcome back, everybody. I hope you liked the intro that I did this time. I wanted to try something a little bit different. I'm very inspired by the Tales of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter. It was an intro that I was absolutely obsessed with when I was a little girl, and I wanted to try and recreate it in my own way. I still have a long way to go and a lot to learn, but I hope that you liked my little experiment this time. So with this painting, I wanted to embody Bob Ross, and instead of using oils, I wanted to try my hand at doing a Bob Ross inspired piece in watercolor. It is not a tutorial, but I have left a lot of the process in there in case you are wondering how I do it, or if you wanted to try and do it yourself in watercolor. The purpose of this video is to relax you, to give you someone to have on in the background if you're doing some painting or some work yourself, and just to have a nice cozy wholesome vibe to do whatever you are doing during your day too. I will continue to talk to you throughout this video as well, so you have a voice to listen to. I've heard that a lot of people enjoy the kind of voiceover vibe, some people enjoy just the music vibe, but I just wanted to chat with you. I don't have a plan for what I'm going to say, so I'm just gonna ramble on. I'm just gonna talk. For this piece, I had to kind of figure out how Bob Ross would have done his paintings, but then change it into watercolor. I know that sounds obvious, but it was quite a task having watched many of Bob Ross's videos and knowing his process, and then trying to figure out how exactly I would get those effects in my medium of choice. My inspiration for this piece was actually my wall calendar. I have a Bob Ross wall calendar, and this very pretty scenery of this blush pink or almost peachy pink sunset in the snow is the one for February, and I thought that would be such a beautiful painting if I could replicate it in watercolor. So I was very inspired by that, and I wanted to try my hand. I wanted to see if I could do it. And I think in the end it turned out really, really nice and really, really pretty. And if you do have a medium that isn't oil and you did want to try Bob Ross's paintings, I absolutely encourage you and challenge you to try it, especially if you're someone that was a big fan of Bob Ross or has watched a lot of his videos and seen the processes that he does. It's an interesting challenge. It's a nice challenge actually to try and figure out how you would do it in your own medium. One of my goals this year was to try and paint more landscapes. It's something that I don't often put in a lot of my paintings. I'm usually more focused on character paintings, and I will take the easy way out and put a little galaxy behind my characters. Also, by the way, guys, do not forget your tea. It might be going cold by now. It certainly was for me at this point. This painting altogether took me about an hour and a half, which when you look at it, it isn't that much time considering I spend several more hours when I'm streaming live. But then again, I am talking to you guys a lot as well. If you wanted to chat with me whilst I paint live on Twitch, then make sure to go follow me at galacticat93. This piece was much more of a hyper focus. I didn't spend a whole bunch of time on it, but I sat here from start to finish, making sure I'd finished it in one sitting. When I'm live streaming on Twitch, I am stopping, I'm talking to everybody, I'm having a really good time. But it is something that I struggled with when I was doing YouTube several years ago before I started doing live streams on Twitch, because I felt like I was rushing a lot of my work and I wasn't really expanding on my skills very much. And now I'm kind of the opposite, going the opposite way, where I feel like maybe I'm taking too long, doing too many details and focusing too much on those details. So doing these almost speed paints, even though this is a speed paint video, it was a super speedy painting to begin with. Doing these speed paints are helping my brain, I guess, figure out those really quick shapes, those really quick brush strokes and processes and everything that I would need to do to complete this little painting. I am very drawn to snowy landscape paintings and anything to do with snow. I've only seen snow once in my life, but I absolutely love the aesthetic of it. I love how it looks. I experienced -20 degrees Celsius when I was in Minnesota, and it was the coldest thing I think I've ever felt in my life. And it was incredible how quickly the human body cools down. But I still absolutely loved the snow, and being able to replicate it in paintings, having known what it looks like and known what it feels like is a whole different vibe. I don't know how to explain it, but just painting this piece and knowing what snow looks like and feels like when I hadn't seen it for my entire life until I was about 29, it's such a surreal thing. It's so surreal, something that I've always dreamed of seeing and feeling and building snowmen and making snow angels, to finally being able to replicate it in a painting and knowing what it feels like. I know that might sound crazy to people, especially if you have grown up knowing snow your entire life, but it was such a magical thing for me. I love how this piece turned out, but of course, as an artist, we are our own worst critics. There are things that I would do differently next time. For example, the border is very messy. My original idea was to have a purposely messy border, so it wasn't quite even, but it had this watercolor vibe about it. But it didn't quite turn out how I envisioned it originally. I didn't want to put the tape on there, like painter's tape or washi tape on there, because I wasn't sure how to get those rounded edges. But I do think that's the way that I would go next time if I were to do another piece like this, which I absolutely plan to. I wasn't sure about going right to the edge. I didn't really want to do that in this video because I was using my little scrapbook paper as a backdrop, and I didn't want to get that super messy and super disgusting from the watercolor. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas on what they would do, then let me know. In the end, I just painted around the messiness with a metallic watercolor. I would absolutely love to hear what you thought of this video. If you liked this format of me just rambling and talking to you and being someone that you could pop on in the background for a couple of minutes to just have a bit of wholesomeness to your day. I hope that I've achieved that, because that was my goal here, and just to have someone that you could listen to and talk to for just that chunk of time during your day. So let me know if you liked the editing, if you liked my little Beatrix Potter inspired intro, and if you'd like to see more of that. Again, I am learning and there's a lot of things that I want to do but don't quite have the skill to do yet, but I will get there. And I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you like how the painting turned out. This will be listed up on my Ko-fi shop pretty much the same time that I am uploading this video, but I do know there is a few people that are waiting on the drop of this, so you might want to get in quick if you're watching this from the very start of me uploading it. Anyway, I hope you all have the most fantastic day, and fare thee well, everybody. Bye.